up, it's Savannah. Welcome back to my channel, and for today's video we are doing another episode. I think this is episode 3. We have made it to the 3rd date. Ooh. Today we are doing episode 3 of What Would Sav Do. If you have not seen the other 2 episodes, I will have them linked in the description box below so you can go check those out. Basically, What Would Sav Do is a fun little twist on the typical advice giving video because, my friends, we have wine. And I think I've made a pretty good dent in this, but you know, it never hurts to just keep going. So if you have not seen a What Would Sav Do video before, basically I asked you guys what's going on in your life that you want the candid version of me, the unfiltered version of me, to tell you what I think of your situation. Also, my earrings are huge, I know. So I asked you guys on Instagram, which if you are not following me on Instagram, what are you doing? It is at Savannah Brimer. Go follow it. Guarantee I will forget to put the actual name right here, but it's just at Savannah Brimer. It's always in the description. Go check it out. We're just gonna dive right into it and let's see what is going on in your guys' lives. Alright, so we're just gonna start from the bottom and go from there. What would you do if you were in love with a guy who was in a relationship but loves you too? Okay, I'm gonna be very straight up with you. I should preface this video by saying that this is just basically talking from my experience and what I personally think based off of my experiences. First of all, if someone's in a relationship, do not fuck with them. Don't get involved. It's gonna be so messy. That would be my first advice. Second advice is if someone's in a relationship and you love them and they love you, but they're still in that relationship, they don't really love you. Because here's the thing, if they actually did love you, they wouldn't be in their relationship and they'd get out of it by now. Because clearly there's something that's still making them hold on to the person that they're still in a relationship with, because they probably love them too. And I just don't think it's worth wasting your time on someone who is already in a relationship. There's so many people out there who are not in relationships. I just don't feel like the situation is worth getting yourself into, because there's so many other people out there that you could be with and that aren't in relationships, and it won't be messy. I promise you, there's not gonna be any drama, there's not gonna be any mess. The fact that he's still in this relationship with this other person but claims to still love you, the fact that he's still in a relationship says a lot, to me at least. He's still not willing to get out of his relationship that he's in to be with you. If he loves you that much, why wouldn't he get out of it already, you know? If someone asked you to marry them, okay, if someone asked you to marry them and you're DMing me asking what would I do if someone asked you to marry them, do not get married. If you were telling me someone asked you to get married and you don't know what to do about it, don't get married. You're not there yet. If your ex still drives by your house and texts you but talks to your friends, bro, it sounds like you have a little bit of a stalker. But if your ex is driving by your house and texting you but still talking to your friends, which first of all, are your friends really your friends if they're talking to your ex? Second of all, I think it's weird as shit that your ex is still driving by your house. If my ex was still driving by my house, they'd be like, 911, where are you at? But if this is an ex that you're amicable with, I would probably just reach out to him and be like, yo, can you stop driving by my house and maybe stop texting me, because we're not together. So if you could stop doing that, that'd be great. A guy friend of mine always asks if we can go out to lunch, etc. a lot of times. Does he like me? I don't think asking someone to lunch is necessarily a sign of them liking you, and I feel like it just depends on your history, depends on the situation. I know that there is such a stigma about girls having guy friends and guys having girlfriends and them not being able to actually be friends, and to me that is total bullshit. I don't believe in that whatsoever. I have plenty of guy friends who are just my friends and I don't see in a romantic way whatsoever. And we'll get lunch, we'll get dinner, we'll hang out. It's not weird. It's not there's this pressure of thinking that it's a date or thinking that anything's gonna happen. So I don't believe in the whole thing where guys can't be friends with girls and girls can't be friends with guys without some weird shit going on. I don't believe that at all. So I don't know if him asking you to go to lunch a lot of times is very telling as far as him liking you, just because I don't know the situation. If you guys aren't super close, then he probably does want to get to know you better and probably wants to see if there's anything possible that's there. But as far as is that the end all be all, yes, he likes you, I can't tell you that. Your ex is getting married. What would you say? I wouldn't say shit. I would not say shit. They have a new relationship that they're clearly happy about. They're entering a new chapter of their life. Why would I want to interfere with that? No matter what, I always just feel in situations like that, it's better to just kind of keep your mouth shut. You can be happy for them from a distance. You can be excited for them from a distance. It doesn't have to be a text or a phone call or anything like that. Be happy for them from a distance, or if you're not happy for them, just kind of keep your distance. I feel there's no good that can come out of you reaching out or anything like that. But that's just me, you know, I don't know. I'm not the end all be all. Take the boy, take the job, or take the trip. Bitch, take all 3. What would Sav do if her boyfriend's parents were super religious and y'all had no freedom? Well, here's the thing. If this is a problem for you, it's important to remember that his parents are inflicting these rules, not not him. So it's not like he has a lot of power over what he is and isn't allowed to do. This is a conversation that you probably should have with him. It's different for me to not have all of these freedoms, and like, I really like you and I really want to stay in this, but I just want you to know that like it's really different for me. There is always ways that you can sneak around it. Like, no matter what, there's ways you can sneak around it and you'll figure it out. So if you do want to be able to get away from them, you'll figure it out. I have two exes who say they want to be with me and I love them both differently. I totally get loving people in different ways. Like, I think, like I was talking about in my last drive with me, like with every relationship you learn something different. I would be living it up if I were you. I probably isn't the advice you want. You have to remember why the relationships ended. You have relationship A and you have relationship B. Why did this one end and why did that one end? And which one was a worse ending? Which one did you get along with better? If you're really considering getting back with them, like, that's also something to consider. Like, do you want to get back with your ex? Like, or do you want to just kind of move on, live your life, and see where it can take you next and see the other people that you meet? There's just a lot of things to consider in this situation. No matter what, exes always come back. Always, always, always. Exes always come back and they always try to pull some stupid shit. And it's really important to remember in those times where you feel like, oh my god, they really care about me. They also had an entire relationship to care, and they're choosing to start to care when the relationship's over. So is it really worth it? Do you really want to be with someone like that? Then again, I don't know why you guys ended. I don't know why you guys broke up. Those are just things that you should really think about when you are trying to consider if you want to go back in a relationship with them. If your boyfriend ends up with the girl he told you not to worry about. Bro, I've been there many times. Oh my god. I've name dropped people to my exes and been like, I know you like them, and they're like, no I don't. And then who do they cheat on me with? It really is a slap in the face when you hear about it and when you see it. It's the biggest slap in the face ever. And you can take a second to be sad and you can take a second to feel sorry for yourself, but then after that second's over, bro, you gotta get up, dust it off your shoulder, no strain off your back. Is that the saying? I don't know if that's the saying. No straw off your back, no strain off your back, no weight off your shoulder. I don't know. It's gonna suck and it's gonna hurt because you're gonna be like, I fucking knew it. Like, bright side of this is, like I said, give it a couple weeks or months or as long as you need to kind of get over that feeling of betrayal. Ow, I just bit my tongue. Because that is a feeling of betrayal. You did nothing wrong. Just because these immature boys and girls cannot figure out what it is that they want does not mean you did anything wrong. Okay? You did nothing wrong. Let them go. I got cheated on. We broke up. 3 months later, the two of them are engaged and pregnant. What would Sab do? This kind of goes back to the first situation I talked about, because you are going to just have to count your blessings that you were not the girl in that situation and wish them the best of luck, because the Lord knows they're gonna need it. This guy's a player, but he's hot, but I know he's bad for me. Should I text him? If we're being honest, and what would Sab do? I would. Sue me. I mean, should you text him? Probably not. Would I? Probably. So this girl asked about doubting the relationship you're in, and I want you to go watch my heartbreak pep talks and my last what would Sab do video, because I know that I talked about this exact issue in that video, so I'm not gonna get too into it, but I do want to direct you to those videos because I do give a very in-depth response to this situation in like the majority of those videos. My 24-year-old boyfriend wants to move in together, but I'm just graduating college and I don't know if I want to do that. This is your life, bro. Like, this is not his life. This is not your guys' life. You're not married. You are not forced to move in with anyone you do not want to. If you want to take your space for another year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, however many years, and you are so allowed to do that. And he is not the one that can tell you that you can't. If you want to take your time and take your space, take your time and take your space. Who freaking cares? Clearly you're aware of like the situation that you're in, and I think that's very important, because moving in with someone is a huge step. And you need to ask yourself if you want to make that step, or if you want to take another year or so, kind of live on your own, still date each other. Like, you don't need to break up, but like, you don't need to move in together. Like, clearly if you don't know what you want to do, then I would kind of advise against it. If you wanted to move in with him and if it was the right time for you guys to move in together, then you would know it and you wouldn't be asking me this question, you know? Hook up with an ex or go skydiving. Here's the thing, I'm afraid of heights, I wouldn't go skydiving. But, so I mean, but I don't want to hook up with an ex. But I don't want to jump off of an airplane. Fucking A. I'd go skydiving. I'd go skydiving. What would Sab do if her ex still liked her? I would say fuck an ex and thank you next. That was like super Dr. Seuss and I almost want to like smash my head against a wall for it. But like, that's literally what I would say. When your ex blames you for being the reason that the girlfriend that he cheated on you with left him. Your ex cheated on you with a girl who he then dated, but then she left him. Bro, I told y'all. we're not dealing with boys in 2019. I don't know if you heard me, I will say it again. We're not dealing with boys in 2019, and this is a boy, and I've dealt with him time after time after time again. I know what this is. This is some manipulation bullshit to get you to be wrapped around their finger so you can feel bad even though he cheated on you with her. How can this possibly be your fault? Explain it to me logically. I'm as a bitch, it happens. I told this guy that I have feelings for him, and he said he had a girl, but he still wanted to talk. Run. Run as fast as you can. Run, because that's an unloyal son of a bitch, and we don't need that. Choosing between the college course your family wants for you and the one you want to do. You're gonna regret it so much if you do not follow your own passions and you do not follow what lights a fire inside of you. Do you think my family was the happiest when I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna not go to college and I'm gonna talk to a camera. You think they were thrilled when I told them that? No. Now they are literally the most supportive people on the planet, and my point in that is that like your family's gonna come around and you should really do what makes you excited and what makes you happy and what you see yourself doing in the future. That's what Sav would do. Bam. I'm a gymnast and my fiance thinks that it's ripping us apart and I want to quit. Help. Oh, wait, I read that wrong. Your fiance thinks it's ripping you guys apart and he wants you to quit. Help. Okay, first of all, I'm a YouTuber, and if my boyfriend said that he thinks YouTube is tearing us apart and he wants me to quit, guess what's not gonna happen? I'm not quitting my passion. I'm not quitting what I love. I'm not quitting what I know. Like, being a gymnast is hard ass work. I am not athletic in the slightest, but I know people who are athletic, and being a gymnast, I can only imagine the amount of time and effort that went into you crafting that and to you being able to call yourself a gymnast, you know, like that's awesome and that's so amazing. And you want to be with someone who's supportive of you and not someone who says what you love and your passion is ripping us apart. Like, fuck that bullshit. Like, if this was a what would Sav do, I would probably go to your fiance and be like, listen, me being a gymnast is not going to change. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to not be a gymnast. But in your opinion, what is lacking in our relationship that you want us to work on so it doesn't feel to you like me being a gymnast is ripping us apart, if that makes sense? Like, kind of go to him and be like, me not being a gymnast is not going to happen unless it's something that you want to happen, but I don't think it is based on your message to me. I would go to him and be like, what is it that you want us to fix, and we will fix it, but just so you know, me being a gymnast is not off the table. Let's talk about it and let's try to make a resolution. I just found your channel in fucking shit. My boyfriend of 6 years and I broke up. Well, let's all welcome the new Savage family member. I cannot imagine what that must feel like. So I don't know the advice I could give you that could make that any better. I would advise you to go watch my other heartbreak pep talk videos because those could hopefully help you a little bit through what you're going through. But I will say that I know that it is probably gut-wrenching right now, but you will get through it, I promise you. And thank you for joining the family. If you had to choose between your head and your heart, which would you choose and why? I have talked about this before, how I never really know what the difference is between my head and my heart. I don't know if that means I'm a dumb bitch or what. When I am going through a situation and I try to figure out what's going on between my head and my heart, there's so many thoughts and emotions and just discombobulated feelings that I don't know how to sort out, and I don't know what's my head, what's my heart, what's making sense, what's just instinctual. I don't know. Everyone says to follow your heart because that's where your true feelings are. Your head is usually the most logical, but your heart is the one you should follow. So I would say follow your heart, just because I feel like I've done that more in the past than following the logical part of my head. I feel like whenever you follow your heart, at least you're left with no regrets, you know? Like, no matter what happens, at least you're left with no regrets. And I feel like I've definitely followed my heart a lot more than I've followed my head. And I don't regret it. So I would say following my heart. I've been seeing this guy for almost 4 years. We met at work. I was new and he had already been there for about a year. I was 17 and he was 20, and now I'm 21 and he's 24. The complicated part was that at the time he had just gotten into a new relationship and he wasn't happy with her. We got really close as friends, but our feelings became more than that. He was about to leave her and pursue something with me, but they found out she was pregnant. It kept them together because he didn't want to abandon his child. His girlfriend is psycho and pretends she's on birth control and uses the I'm depressed card to get him to sleep with her even though he doesn't want her. 4 years later, they're about to have their third baby, but he's still always coming to me and he's trying to find a way to leave because he's so unhappy. He works 2 jobs and pays rent, the kids, and her allowance. He's scared to leave because he doesn't want to lose his kids. Okay, bro, this is a very sticky situation. Don't know this type of situation. I've never been in this type of situation. Okay, there's a lot of things going on here, and let me break it down. I will say one thing, and that is when you say she plays the I'm depressed card to get him to sleep with her even though he doesn't want her. Blatantly honest, if he didn't want her, he wouldn't sleep with her, point blank. And I know it's not what you want to hear, but this is just kind of like the truth of that. He's not being held against his fucking will. Like, he's not. He could take her to court. He could get joint custody of his kids if he really wanted to. Like, that's also what you have to remember in this situation. This situation seems really messy, and if I were you, I would try to get out of it, just clearly because he's in such a sticky situation. But like I said, there's a lot going on here. He's on his third kid with her. I would just I'd back off, because you don't want to get involved in anyone's baby mama drama. I've talked about this before. If I were you, I would just back away and find someone who doesn't have all of this mess with their situation. You don't want to date someone who has this entire backstory with it. I get it, you guys have history, but I think that in the end, it'll be a lot better for you if you can just kind of move past it and find someone else. There's a ton of other people out there, and I promise you will find someone who you don't have to kind of go through this with. This is a lot to go through for anyone. If I were you, I would be out by now. That's how I feel. Alright, you guys, that was the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that post notification bell. Make sure you go follow all my socials. They will be down in the description box below. I love you guys so much, and I'll be back in a couple days with a brand new video. Bye, guys.